Welcome to this session on climate change. Climate change is the latest topic on all the top executives of the government. Climate change is not only that affects the the environment, but also the jobs across the field, across mining, agriculture, and oil and gas commissions, where the pollution is prone to be. So climate change is the D words of all the governments. So what exactly is the climate change? Climate change refers to increasing the increase of the earth temperatures, which gives rise to the sea levels, and also the natural calamities like floods and bushfires and very drastic weather changes. So what exactly can be done for the climate change? Many governments give suggestions to overcome the cause and effect of the climate change, such as floods and bushfires. They treat the symptoms of the climate change rather than finding a solution for climate change. So for climate change to be effective, there should be a decision, a concrete decision, very decisive decision by the governments which are responsible for climate change. Basically, why this climate change occurs is because of mining, oil and gas extractions, lack of green cover on the earth's surface, and human activities such as coal mining, fossil fuel extraction, and oil and gas extraction from the earth. So basically what happens is whatever has been buried under the earth, when it is brought out, it augments the climate change. So to tackle the climate change, they have to stop this. The industries must stop pollutions of the environment, and the the elements which are buried under the ground must remain under the ground. If you bring them out, it tends to pollute. Like for example, coal mining. Coal has been submerged under the earth for millions of years. So now if you extract the coal, it naturally pollutes the atmosphere and thereby gives a carbon cover in the atmosphere, which is the cause of external, which is the cause of increase in the in the sea levels, increase in the temperatures of the Earth atmosphere. So, in order to reduce the increasing level of sea levels, there should be a control over the increase in the temperatures on the Earth's atmosphere, which they call as carbon emissions. So, in order to control the climate change, they have to control the emissions from all across the industries which cause this rise in the temperatures of the atmosphere. That is one of the reasons. The other reason is the green cover, which control the pollutions and the temperature increase, has significantly reduced from the time of industrialization and now. The green cover basins such as Amazon River Basin and the African evergreen forests, due to felling of the trees for commercial reasons, are one of the reasons why the green cover has been reduced. So, in order to bring about the green cover, there should be more plants, trees, especially planted in the river basins, major river basins such as Amazon, Congo River, and the Nile River basins. The other reason why there is a back lagging of the industries is that the industries are very slow to respond to the climate change requirement. Industries are not technically advancing the requirements of climate change, and they are not moving fast towards zero emissions. The governments who are the top responsible bodies to bring about the change in the industry's perspectives towards the climate change. There should be an aggressive decisions made and shut down the industries which are causing pollutions and emissions into the atmosphere, Earth atmosphere. They have to take a bold decision with regard to the climate change requirements across the industries such as earlier mentioned, oil and gas, mining. These are the pollutants of of climate change. So, in order to control the climate change, there are countries which are responsive to the climate change, such as Netherlands. They have good model of controlling, or not controlling, they are responsive to the climate change. They have proven how to respond to the floods and with the storm gates and dikes and other things. Netherlands has shown how to be response, how to respond to the climate change, but they have not shown how to control what is the solution to the climate change. Most of the governments, they talk about how to respond to the climate change rather than finding a solution to the climate change. As a result of climate change, many island Pacific island nations are likely to submerge in coming century. Their coastline will increase. Uh, there will be increase in the sea levels, and that is going to cause submerging of the land surface, especially the islands like Mauritius, Pacific islands like Solomon Islands. They are going to face real sea level increases, which will cause climate refugees to move. Climate refugees meaning they are forced to move out from their natural living. So what happens if the climate change is not controlled? If the climate change is not controlled, it will give rise to the sea levels. It will create drastic calamities such as mentioned earlier, such as flooding and bushfires across the globe, unexpected floods, and floods are the main. Flooding is the main cause of the climate change. So in order to control the climate change, there should be very strong decisions made by the government, heads of the government in their respective countries and their respective industries. They blame on losing job opportunities. Actually, there will be more jobs created when there is a transition from the mining to the more eco-friendly industries, such as there will be more job opportunities created, newer opportunities created to the old workforce, and the old workforce required to be upskilled, reskilled, and fresher workforce in the greener industries, and the old outdated industries could be shut down and new workforce can be created. The governments must decide on those lines of developing new job opportunities by developing greener industries and closing down the outdated pollutant industries, especially the mining industry. So if the mining is closed down, there will be plenty of workforce which have been displaced. The governments must be prepared to reskill them, upskill them, and absorb them in the newer industries which will be greener and will not cause climate change.